wanted to ask you about because time is going by so fast.
Yes, sir.
America was founded and created and became the best country on this side of heaven by white people. Are you surprised at the attack upon white people today by the blacks and others? It's like they're just trying to destroy the people who welcome them into their home. Are you surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised at the violence at all. America was not founded by white people.
You said it was not?
Oh no, the Native American was here when the white man came here.
But it wasn't America. The natives just sitting around smoking pot and fighting,
I understand
and
that
fighting
part,
one another. They weren't doing anything. They just lived here without even. They were so high they didn't even know where they were.
Right, but it doesn't change the fact to say that the white man was the first, should I say, original man of America is incorrect. Because for you to be the original, then no one can be here before you.
But you can
the
have
first
to
one
admit
that was here was the Native American, who were people of color, and then the
Native American color too.
Excuse me?
You said the Native American was people of color.
The Native American was all kind of skin colors.
But you got to admit that if it wasn't for white people, there would be no America. It would just still be dry land, people living in tents, smoking pot.
Oh, I agree that white people have helped develop this country, and white people have also contributed to the chaos of this country.
How did
just like
that?
Every other ethnic group that's in this country have contributed to the development of this country, but have also contributed in some form to the chaos of this country.
I've noticed that not all, but most black people today are very destructive. Everything they touch turns to dust. If they move into white communities, which are really nice, and the white people leave, they'll turn that into a ghetto. If they take over your business, or if they take over the government, or if they take over anything, they turn it into a ghetto. Why is that?
The mindset of some of our brothers and sisters is a very brutal mindset. To my sad regret, some priorities are just wrong. Many of our children were not properly educated by parents.
Yeah.
Because what I mean is this: some ethnic groups teach their children how to save, develop, start businesses.
It was like that when I was growing up. Absolutely.
To be productive. Now, you can be taught that, but that teaching doesn't do you no good unless you value that lesson and then apply it to self, regardless of what color you are. Our black brothers and sisters, to make a sweeping indictment and say that all are lazy, no.
Well, not all, but most. And I noticed that most black people...
Many of them was taught right, came from disciplined families, came from being taught correct, but to my sad regret, many just did not value the teaching. They value street more than teaching.
Well, that's because they had no love, and those mothers don't have love, and the fathers are not around. Because you can give them the world, but if you don't give them love growing up, they have nothing. And so they were growing up today.
In many cases, the father was not around.
Right.
In many cases, the mother was not loving. But what about the situations where mothers were loving and the fathers were around, and still some of the children become products of evil and mayhem?
Because behind closed doors, the mother is running the father and the children, and they look holy when they walk out. I gotta ask you, but it's not the real deal. The love comes from the father, not from the mother. My mother's love destroy, a father's love build. And so even if there is a father in the home, if he's not the head of his wife, if she's not getting the love from him, which comes from God and passed out to the children, because the mother's love comes from below, it is destructive. So even if they do have two parents and the mother is giving that love that comes out of hell, the kid's still not going to be able to function. What do you think about Black Lives Matter?
Black Lives Matter, the slogan is true, but it is very narrow the way it's presented.
Yeah.
What I mean is this. I was on another talk show and I said these words. It is hypocritical for black brothers and sisters to flood the streets when a black person is killed by a white cop. But yet the same anger, the same frustration is not produced on the same scale when black may kill each other.
Yeah.
If Black Lives Matter, then a man should not be beating his woman. If Black Lives Matter, then our black brothers should not desert their families. If Black Lives Matter, our black brothers should be willing to work and take care of their children and not go on a baby making spree and then refuse to take care of any of them.
Are you surprised, as I am, that in today's Black America, that they would even follow a bunch of fat black radical lesbians? The Black Lives Matter organization, it was founded by a bunch of fat black radical lesbians who hate God, who hate the nuclear family, who hate unborn children. They are trained Marxists. They have said that themselves. Are you surprised to see black people following those kind of folks?
No.
You're not surprised?
Not at all.
Why not?
Because if you look at the nature of the human family, many of them will follow evil before they'll follow good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because evil works in favor with our carnal way of thinking, and good work against our way of thinking, which is God, who demands us to make a change. So no, I'm not surprised.
What do you think of the Great White Hope?
I don't look at no white person as a great white hope. I believe
Donald Trump.
Hope,
you know who the Great White Hope is, right?
the so-called great white hope was nothing but a farce. One thing I do say about Trump, he showed his true colors.
What do you mean by that?
He spoke openly what Republicans been saying behind closed doors. He was open about his ignorance. He was open about his hatred. He reminded me of the Klansmen from the 30s and the 20s and the 40s who wore their sheets openly and paraded down streets. So the internal hatred that many of the Republicans have towards people of color, Donald Trump just voiced it.
That's amazing.
Openly.
Are you a Democrat?
I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican.
So you didn't vote for the Great White Hope?
No, I didn't vote for none of them.
Donald Trump showed his true color by showing real love to America and to the world. If you notice, under Donald Trump, the Great White Hope, everything got better. Jobs, people were able to buy homes. He tried to shut down the border and almost did, but he didn't have enough time to finish it. No wars. Everything got better under the Great White Hope. And to me, that's what love is. Unlike this guy, Joe Biden and Barack Obama and all those people, they brought in hate and nearly destroyed the country by taking away all those things rather than providing. So why do you see Donald Trump as hate when he demonstrated love and you didn't see that?
Donald Trump did not demonstrate love.
He was like a real father.
Of love, like the book says, God is love.
Donald Trump demonstrated God's love, though.
Oh, no. Donald Trump did not demonstrate God's love whatsoever. If you're going to demonstrate God's love, you demonstrate it across the board. You can't have 3 and 4 wives that demonstrate God's love. You cannot.
He didn't have but one life. He didn't have but one wife.
You can't talk as if the female is nothing more than something that should be fondled at will.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Well, if you remember when they played the excerpt of him was on the bus talking about the pageant he used to be head of, the beauty pageant, and what he said that what he loved to do with the women, and he said how he can't help himself. If that's the love of God, you can keep it.
But he never said that.
His ideology
that's not what he said.
Is very cheap, very worthless, and no good.
He never said that. He said that if you're famous, that women would let you do that. He never said he wanted to do that.
Well, he said that. He said he does it. He loved to do it.
No, he never said he would love to do it. He said they would let you do it. Have you ever had, when you were just around men, before you came real holy, have you ever had talk about what you would do to a woman?
Oh no,
You
I
never
wasn't
talked
raised that
about
way.
it. Amazing.
No,
Let me ask.
listen, brother,
You,
I wasn't allowed for such
even when
language
you're
to come out
around
of my
men, you
mouth.
didn't talk about what you would do to a woman if you could.
What's that?
When you were, before you got married and you were out there being a slut maker, you never talk about what you would do to a woman.
No, sir.
Amazing.
I wasn't raised that way.
You said Donald Trump is a racist. What is racism?
The hatred of any group of people because of the color of their skin or the contents of their character.
But there's no one like that. There's no such thing as racism. Racism has never existed. No such thing as racism, sexism, homophobia,
And what makes you think that racism never existed?
or deadbeatism, or white supremacism, or anti-Semitism. It's either good or evil, right or wrong. You're either of your daddy devil, so that makes you evil, or you're
Right.
of God, and that makes you good. Of God, right? God is good. So this word racism is made up in order to divide and conquer. It's not real. It's either evil or good. There's no such thing as racism.
So how do you define a black man being hung by a white man? Is that an act of evil?
Yes,
Is he acting out what he feels?
it's evil. He feel evil.
And his evil, now evil come under many headings.
But it's still evil though. And any
I
human
agree.
being.
I agree 100%.
So why call it racism instead of calling it evil? Because any human being who has an iota of anger is evil. Anyone that has anger is evil. That's why you must be
I totally
born.
disagree.
You know, God said before you enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must go and forgive. And
I
then you
agree.
can enter in. And the reason you can't enter in with anger is because it's of your father, the devil. You have Satan nature.
All anger, brother, all anger, sir,
it's
is not
evil.
of your father, the devil.
Yes, it
Because
is.
the scriptures give permission
But
to
not
be
that
angry.
kind of anger.